Hello, everyone. My name is Lennon. Today is day 8 of the 30 days to financial freedom, small habits that changed my life. Um, you're more than welcome to look at the previous videos to learn day 1 through 7, a small recap. All of these small habits that are now lifestyle, um, they're now a lifestyle. They didn't happen overnight. Okay, this was a 3-year span. Because remember, your small choices and the small habits that led you to living um, a lifestyle that was above your means, that maybe you overindulged, you splurged, you got into debt, didn't happen overnight. Those choices happened day by day, and now you're here with me. Um, this is honestly a testimony of how I began, and it worked for me. In the span of 3 years, I no longer work my 9 to 5. I'm focused on my businesses. So while I was applying these small habits, um, I was also putting all my energy into growing my businesses. Now it's very different when you're only able to provide 2 to 3 hours a day to your personal journey, your personal goals, versus 8 hours into a job. Anywho, day 8, I'm going to show you how I make my coffee. So it's make your coffee at home. If you have the habit of going to Starbucks, Dutch Bros, um, uh, Dunkin' Donuts, any like making a coffee stop before you get to work, or when you're at work, you all of a sudden get the urge to order Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. This is your stop. You start purchasing all the items on your grocery hauls, on you add it to your grocery list. So the creamers, the milk, the vanilla extract, whatever you prefer, the cinnamon, um, hazelnut, the sugar-free syrups, um, you start buying them. And then you buy your preferred coffee. I honestly, it was kind of different. I started off with like two Keurig machines, an espresso machine, and then once I started getting into this, like after a year, I didn't want to continue spending on pods. And I started thinking like, they're not good for the environment. And some of them were flavorless, to be honest. So then I said, you know what, that's not working for me. And thankfully, my Manuel, my better half, he knows how to prepare café de la olla so deliciously. So then I saw no need. It was like 2 months of us not using either machine, like no Keurig, no Nespresso. So then I decided to sell them, and then I sold them, and then we just focused on like the Folgers coffee to make café de la olla, which I'll show you how to do it on another video. Um, and then I brew my cold brew at home, so that I always have cold brew ready for my iced coffee. So in the next videos, I'm going to show you how I make them, what I purchase. So now these have become staples in my household. I don't have extra machines that I can do by myself. I've been gifted, thermos, and I've been gifted different coffee cups so that I can take my iced coffee with me. Um, and it's just made things easier. It's just I prepare my coffee, I prepare my iced coffee, like if I'm going to the library, or if I'm going to shop, if I'm going to run an errand, and it saves me what, $5 to $15 a day. So again, day 8 is make your coffee at home. Start making your beverages at home and take them with you. Put them in containers that will keep them cold, hot, that you like. If you personally prefer straws, then take straws. This is to make it easier for you. Same thing with hydro flasks. If you like them with the straw, if you like to keep ice in them, if you like your little packets so that they have flavor, go ahead and do so. But these are steps that allow you to be comfortable and at the same time save you money. So again, this is day 8 of the 30 days to financial freedom, small habits that changed my life. Start making your coffee at home and take it to go. So here, Manuel usually boils cinnamon with 2 cloves, and then we add the Nescafe and the sugar. That usually makes the café de la olla, or we put piloncillo. And then I could take it to go on my thermos. Now I'm gonna make my iced coffee, my personal preference. So this is where I brew my coffee. It's usually Café Cubano La Llave, the espresso that I put in there, and I let it just submerge and brew for like 3 days, and I refrigerate it. So here I'm gonna go ahead and mix my milk and my half and half with vanilla extract and a small amount of sugar. Gonna go ahead and whisk that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add it at like a cold foam, like what you would normally get at Starbucks. I put the cold foam over the cold brew. It already has ice in it. And this you can get really creative with mixing if you just Google like the ingredients and you Google what it has or what it needs. It just makes things easier. Again, since we have the time, we're no longer rushed. We can take the time to make this. Okay, so usually I use cane sugar, pure cane sugar, so it's raw sugar. And here, the batteries weren't placed correctly, so I had to flip it around. I just replaced the batteries because this wasn't working. So here I just got back from my walk. So I'm trying to walk on a daily basis because I am doing kind of like a 30-day challenge so that, going on my early morning walks. Now that school started, I have to go beforehand because I want to avoid traffic and like the school traffic and everything. As I mix this iced coffee, guess what I'm going to pair it with? I'm going to pair it with some tamales. Mom and I made tamales over the weekend. A machole, which is my grandma, brought purple corn husks, las hojas de maíz. So that's why they turn purple because they're from purple maíz. But these are authentic from Puebla. Made them over the weekend. They're so delicious.